It's 7:14. The attempted assassination of former President Trump has been all over the news. No doubt your children have seen it or heard about it. Licensed marriage and family therapist Britt Young is here. And this can really affect our keiki, right, Britt?
Oh, yeah. I mean, just scary. That's the word that keeps coming up in our sessions with young people. And if I'm being super honest, Steve, with grown-ups too. An assassination attempt is just really unnerving and scary. And I had to do my research, and I remember the last one was 1981, I think. The last assassination attempt on a president or candidate. So most of us Gen Xers were little kids, so this is a very new event for most of the world, and it's happening in social media land. So you don't just experience it once, you experience over and over again.
Yeah, and speaking from experience, I mean, because that goes back to when we were kids, you're thinking that somebody that's completely untouchable is now, you know, vulnerable. So how can young people digest this? How are they accepting it?
Well, it's different for every child, of course, but you can imagine the bigger foundational concept is, oh my goodness, the world isn't as safe and secure as I thought it was. It's chaos, bad things can happen. But then when it's an assassination attempt, you can imagine some deeper layers, you know, one of which is little children do understand that there's a lot of security around this person. So now it's like, oh my gosh, how could this happen, mom and dad? Like there was so many people protecting this person. Secondarily, you have to ask yourself, you know, are important people targets now? So a lot of third graders, remember when you wanted to be president?
Yep.
Okay, I do too. And it's like, well, if I want to be a public figure, if I want to be president, am I now going to be a target? So some kind of conceptualizing there. And finally, we don't know yet what exactly happened, but we do know that this person might have been mad at something he said or did. So now it's like, uh-oh. If I do or say something someone doesn't agree with, does that also place a target on myself? So against this bigger backdrop of chaos, you now have these smaller complexities that a 6 to 10-year-old is trying to deal with.
Yeah, you always talk about how parents can be there for their children.
Sure.
So any suggestions with this particular case?
So a lot of this goes back to those 3 things that we always talk about, this sort of formula for talking with children through hard things: validation, information, reassurance. And I wish it spelled something really cool, but it just spells ver. Okay, so you want to validate their difficult feelings. I can see how you'd feel that way. You want to give them appropriate information, and then you want to reassure them. The grown-ups are in charge, and we're making the world as safe as we can. Now, I did read something from a child psychologist lately, and I thought it was perfect, very to the point. She said, you can tell children, sometimes people do bad things, and that's why we have police in jail. And, you know, that seemed to really sum it up, that we do our very best, and we have these things in place, these systems like police and jail, to take care of these bad things that happen. Best you can do.
And you know what? It doesn't have to be catchy. If it works, ver it is.
Ver it is, V-I-R. I'll try to think of something catchier next time.
All right. Thanks, Britt.
Thanks,
Appreciate it. 7:17, we'll be right back after this.